Welcome dear students. Today we are in the second live session. In the first live session we actually discussed something the course structures what you have studied throughout this biodiversity conservation course. So in the present lecture, or we can say in the today's lecture, we will discuss endangered species management in India, and we will take the example of, we can say, tiger, or we can say a success story of the tigers in India, that how the tigers have been revived from the verge of extinction. Let's start. As we all know, India is one of the 17 mega biodiversity countries globally. About 2.4% of the land area and harbors around 8% of the global biodiversity. So managing this much of biodiversity, or managing this much of diversity is sometime is challenging, and it's present a huge responsibilities. So it gives some kind of the threats, and conservation is very difficult due to to managing this huge biodiversity. And we have some kind of, we can say, umbrella legislation that's called as Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, or key legislations that actually protect the wildlife in India, or we can say that's enforce wildlife laws in India. Uh, Actually, we are not living in the six mass extinctions, although there are five mass extinctions previous. And the famous one was that during the Cretaceous period, when dinosaurs were actually wiped out. So no, nowadays we are living in an age of Anthropocene. Anthropocene means man-made, means all the action of nowadays is determined by the action of the human being itself. Anthropos means man-made. So although extinctions occurs at some rate, but in these six mass extinctions, particularly for the birds and the mammals, the extinction rate is 100 times more than the, we can say, previous extinction rates. So this cause some kind of, we can say, concerns that we need to manage the biodiversity, we need to manage the species, particularly birds, mammals, vertebrates, and other invertebrates. So let's start from the today's topic, that tiger success story. Actually, what happened in early 19th century, about 40,000 tigers were present in India, but within 7 decades, population, we can say, uh, uh, culminated to 1800, and there is a alarming decline, reflecting neglect of our national animals, and government faces some kind of the criticisms that why this national animal is actually decreasing day by day. So they actually initiated we can say, steps for a tiger revivals. So Project Tiger was launched in April 1st 1973, and it was launched from Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand. 1973, Project Tiger initiated with 9 tiger reserves that actually cover 9,150 square kilometers of area. Late 1980, reserves have been increased to 15, covering an area of 24,700 square kilometers. In 1984, tiger count in reserves exceed 1,100. Continued expansions, more tigers habitats were added subsequently. From 1990, in 1997, 23 tiger reserves actually protecting about 33,000 square kilometers of the area under Project Tigers. The concern was that despite expansion of the, we can say, this area, tiger population did not see some kind of a significant rise. And in December 2004, tigers suspected to have disappeared from tigers reserves of the, we can say, Sariska tiger reserves in Rajasthan. So we can say this creates some kind of, we can say, hue and cry among the conservationists and among the governments. And in March 2005, Wildlife Institute also confirmed that there is no tigers left in the Sariska. And Central Bureau of Investigations also initiated an inquiry and CBI investigation revealed that poaching since 2002 was there, and with loss, 6 tigers were killed in 2004. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change established actually Tiger Task Force on April 19, 2005 to review the reserve management and how this has been happened. Tiger Task Force review the management of the tiger reserves, and the main purpose was this: to strengthen tiger conservation measures, to provide incentives to forest staffs, to improve tiger counting methods, and to implement transparent audits and public data disclosures. And there is also establishment of, I can say, constitution of the National Tiger Conservation Authority. We can say it was established in 2006 through the amendment of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. National Tiger Conservation Authority functions under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and it is responsible for tiger and habitat conservation management in India. NTCA actually provides central assistance to states for tiger reserves aligned with tiger conservation plans. Assistance covers protection, habitat improvement, monitoring, eco-development, voluntary relocations, and addressing human-wildlife conflicts. And activities also conducted within the national, we can say, Tiger Conservation Authority guidelines. Actually, NTCA conducts country-level assessments of the tiger status every 4 years, and by using modern technologies like camera traps that has been approved by Tiger Task Force, constituted for the said purposes. There is another, we can say, things that happens after this incidents, that there is a need arises for the management effectiveness evolution of tiger reserves. Tiger survival actually depends upon the conservation efforts. It's not like that we actually establish a tiger reserves and we actually adapt them. We need continuous conservation efforts in those areas which that has been declared as a tiger reserves. So tiger reserves management effectiveness needs assessments. Government directives for independent audit post-Riska tiger reserve incidents, and Wildlife Institute in India actually develop evolution framework with the global experts and the National Tiger Conservation Authority, that how we can actually evaluate the management effectiveness of the tiger reserves. Protected area management effectiveness gaining actually recognitions and declaration of the protected areas, as I'm already told you, does not always ensure that adequate protections. Evolution is also necessary, is also essential due to numerous threats that actually protected area face. So actually these management effectiveness evaluations of protected areas identifies issues and the success within and behind the individual managers' controls. They actually also facilitate source allocations and promote some kind of accountability. They also engage communities and highlight the values of the protected areas. Management effectiveness of the tiger reserves. India is, we can say, India is among the selected countries that actually initializing the, we can say, management effectiveness evaluation process. Project Tigers conducted, we can say, management effectiveness assessments of the tiger reserves, and tiger reserves evolution there is evolution of, we can say, these tiger reserve every 4 years from 2006 to 2018. That actually emphasizes that tiger conservations and landscape connectivity management. And the assessment cycle was between in 2006 28 tiger reserves were assessed, in 2010 39 tiger reserves were assessed, in 2014 43 tiger reserves were assessed, and in 2018 50 tiger reserves were assessed. This management effectiveness evaluation framework included actually 32 criteria, headlines for the assessment of these protected areas are tiger reserves. And the management effectiveness of evaluation rating of the tiger reserve described in 4 different categories. Those tiger reserves which have been rated less than 40% rated, they are rated as poor. The tiger reserves with a percentage of 41 to 59% rated as fair, and those tiger reserves which comes under the percentage of 60 to 74% rated as good, and those tiger reserves are those protected areas which comes more than 75% of percentage are rated as very good. And these are, we can say, the criteria based on which we can say the tiger reserves have been evaluated. There is another things that has been happened, that has been, we can say, gives according to the guidelines of, we can say, National Tiger Conservation Authority, and according to the approval of the, we can say, Tiger Task Force, utilization of advanced technology in tiger management. And a new things that has been come, that is called M stripes monitoring system for tigers intensive protection and ecological status. Actually, tiger reserves conduct law enforcement and ecological monitoring regularly. However, we can say generating information is often, we can say, ad hoc, and there is and not readily available for the decision makings. Although we have information in hand, but it's a some kind of the, we can say, ad hoc information, and that has not been utilized adequately. So M stripes actually addresses this gap by providing some kind of a platform for effective patrolling, ecological assessment, and conflict mitigations. So, by utilizing modern technology to assist in these talks within and around the tiger reserves. And other things that has been happened for, we can say, improvement of the tigers and the tiger numbers is NTC actually introduce reintroduction and restocking of the tiger reserves. In those areas which have we don't have any tigers, they actually reintroduce, and in those areas which have less tigers, they have been tigers have been restocking. NTCA implements active managerial interventions for tiger reintroductions also, and successful tiger reintroductions has been happened in Sajiska and Panna Tiger Reserve since June 2008. Ongoing tiger restockings has been there in Sanjay Gandhi Tiger Reserves and Narodi Wildlife Sanctuary also. And other things that has been done for strengthening, we can say, tigers and the tiger numbers is village relocations for the creation of involite space. Actually, there's a research that tiger ecological research suggested that tigers needs 800 to 1200 square kilometer of involite forest areas that's actually needed for 80 to 100 tigers. So keeping these things in mind, NTC actually prioritizes creating involite space for tigers alongside local community developments. So they develop a scheme that is called as voluntary village relocation programs that actually aims to empower communities and create involite space for the tigers. With the help of EF data of 2020 shows that 41,000 families in 496 villages across 50 tiger reserves have been relocated till date. And this is data that we have collected from Times of India report. Another things that has been done to increase the tiger numbers and for the protection of the tigers is that tiger conservation plan for better management. Actually, Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 mandates state governments to prepare tiger conservation plans. These tiger conservation plans focus on protecting tiger reserves and also providing habitat inputs for tigers, predators, and prey animals. So there's a need to emphasize ecological compatible land use and habitat corridors between protected areas. So NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority, has approved till date 35 tiger conservation plan for better management of the tiger reserves, and around 52 tiger reserves and others tiger conservation management plan are under progress. Setting up Tiger Conservation Foundation and other initiatives that has been done by NTCA with the help of, we can say, Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. It also mandates the state government to establish tiger conservation foundations for tiger reserves. Actually, these tiger conservation foundations support tiger reserves management for conservation and eco-development initiatives with community participations. So another things that has been done, we can say, for this management of the tiger reserves, that immunizations around tiger reserves. In 2013, actually, media coverage about CD virus spread in tiger countries like Indonesia and Russia, and this CD virus symptoms causes high fever, watery eyes, lethargy, vomiting, diarrhea, paralysis, and the deaths. So NTCA preventive measures uh, has been done that there should be a regular vaccination of the cattle, cats, dogs near tiger reserves. There is also need for immediate reporting of abnormal wild animal behavior. There is also need for collection of that animal's tissues for analysis if that has been found near or around or in tiger reserves. And there is also need for periodic water quality checks in tiger reserves pre and post monsoon season to check these things that nothing happens around the tiger reserves. Another important initiatives we can say that has been done and that has been needed for the protection of the tiger is connecting tiger population for long-term conservation. As I have already discussed with you that for survival of around 80 to 100 tigers, there is a need for 800 to 1000 square kilometer of the area. So this aspect is very, very important that we need to connect the tiger population for the long-term conservation. So NTC initiate numerous, just like other initiatives, another initiative is connecting tiger population for the long-term conservation. So key tiger population needs to be connected to corridors. If we really want to, we can say conserve the tigers, we need to connect them. Otherwise, it's not possible to conserve these bigger species. So actually, why we need to conserve these? Because these corridors actually facilitate genetic exchange. Wildlife Institute of India actually identified corridors through extensive survey in 2006 to 2010, and these corridor landscape includes Shivalik Hills, Gangetic Plains, Central Indian landscapes, and Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats landscapes, we can say, and Northeast hill states. And these are, we can say, these are, we can say, certain, we can say, pictures or amenities reserves, corridor that has been connected to for we can say for genetic exchange of the tiger population. Shivalik Hills and Gangetic Plain landscapes. There is another is Corbett, Dudhwa landscapes. Then another is Dudhwa, Kishanpur, Kataniagat, we can say landscapes. So these areas have been identified so that tigers population move easily from one area to another area. Another is Central Indian landscapes and the Eastern Ghats. Another is Western Ghat landscapes. Another is Northeast landscape. Another is, this is the, we can say, tiger reserve map. Although no, we have I have written a figure of 55, but no, we have a 58 tiger reserves till date. Another we can say initiatives that has been done because whether the species have been protected or whether the conservation initiatives have been are successful or not, we need the numbers. That's very, very important. Otherwise, how we can say that the population is actually, whether the conservation efforts that has been taken are actually positive or in a negative way. To know this, we need status that what has been happened to the population after different management practices. So this tiger census is very, very an important management initiative for long-term conservation. And this tiger task force actually recommends an important initiative that there should be a nationwide monitoring of the tigers and ecosystem using modern scientific protocols from the Wildlife Institute of India. The National Tiger Conservation Authority, along with, we can say, state forest departments and different conservation non-governmental organizations led by Wildlife Institute of India, actually conducts national assessments of the tigers and the co-predators every 4 years. And the first assessment begins in 2006, followed by 2010. Then we have 2014, 2018, and the latest was in 2022, utilizing different scientific methodology. And this is the latest one that has been done in 2022, and this report has been released by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, in Mysore. And the minimum in this report that has been released by our Prime Minister, that the minimum tigers, according to the last census, is 3,167 tigers are theirs till date. This is the minimum number, minimum population estimates according to the latest tiger census report. So there is also other figures are there that how many tiger reserves, how many camera has been utilized, how many photographs have been captured, and other things also been theirs. But the thing is that uh, why the tiger protection is gaining, we can say, importance, and why everyone is talking about the tigers and all these things. The primary concern for this is that because for conserving anything we need a political will. I think there is nowadays there is a political will. Our prime minister is himself interested for the wildlife, and they really want to conserve the we can say wildlife. That's why they actually also reintroduce the we can say cheetah in India, and also very keen to protect the tigers, our national animal in India. That's why he was there to release the numbers of the tigers in front of the nations. So in conclusion, I can say Government of India commits to tiger conservation through Wildlife Protection Act amendments, uh, National Tiger Conservation Authority establishments, and different core areas delineations. And these initiatives are very important for the protection of the tigers. So we can say as the thing is that some people thinks that why we are talking about the tigers and other things, because tiger is an umbrella species. If we conserve the tiger habitats, we need to conserve the others also. It's not like that we are conserving the tiger singly. If we really want to conserve the tigers, we need to conserve the tigers. We need to conserve the tiger habitat, means we need to conserve the forest. If we really want to conserve the tigers, we also need to conserve the tigers, we can say prey species also, and the co-predators, the mesocarnivores also. It means if tiger is protected, if the some we are, if we are taking some flag species for the protections, it means we are conserving the entire biodiversity itself. So that's why we can say by conserving the tigers, we not only the conserving the tigers, but we can also actually safeguarding the entire biodiversity also. So conservation efforts, we can say these kind of we can say conservation efforts aid, I can say, in preserving herbivore populations, carnivore, and they also ensure that the ecosystems are we can say running smoothly and ecosystems are functioning in a very smooth way. If you are actually really want to conserve, if you are interested to conserve the bigger species, just like the similar is case for the elephant also, we can say leopard is also these, because these are the apex predators. When we are conserving the apex predators, we are also conserving the lower strata also. So this is all about we can say our today's lecture, in which we actually discuss something about uh, endangered species management. That how we can say tiger numbers from 1100, no, we have more than we can say 3000 tigers are there in India. So the thing is that if we really want to conserve, if there is a political will, there is nothing is impossible. So everything should be protected, but there is need a political will. And in case of the tigers, it's a live example for us. It's a we can say success story in front of us, that how we actually revive our tiger population, our national animals from the verge of extinction to a very big number. Thank you very much. This is all about. I think two people have joined. Arfaz and Gorech and Sarkars is there, and I have also planned one more lectures tomorrow at the same time, and some new topics we will discuss uh, in tomorrow's lectures. And I think you have only 2 or 3 days left for your examinations. 25th is, I think, 25th is your examination, isn't it? Okay, if you have anything, if you are, you can ask me in the chat box.
Please mention the most important topics.
At first, you have mentioned that, sir, please mention some important topics, because your all you will, in the examinations you will get the question from each and every topics. The question has been framed in such a way, and I've already told you that more than 50% of your questions will be come from your assignment. So look, go to your assignments again, the question that has been given to your assignments. Just go through once again before your examination. More than 50% of the questions comes from the assignment itself. So that's one thing I will tell you. Okay, with this I'm going to end, and we will meet again tomorrow at the same time at 10:30, at 8:30. Sorry. Thank you, first. Thank you, Goraj and Sardar. I'm going to leave the meeting. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me.